Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so I think the video quality should be much better now because I forgot to set it last time. Now let me just see. How much quality am I getting on the video now? Hello, hello, hello. Okay. What is the quality that I'm getting now? What is the quality What is the quality? Hello, testing audio 1 2 3. Hello, testing audio 1 2 3. Testing audio 1 2 3. Hello, testing audio 1 2 3. Audio check 1 2 3. Audio check. Check 1 2 3. Audio check. Okay, good to go. So now, where were we? Okay, yeah, we read this to build user interfaces and nextjs for additional features and optimizations. Under the hood, so this is where I'm going to use Perplexity. Alright, Perplexity, do your magic. Under the hood, nextjs also abstracts and automatically configures tooling needed for React. Like bundling, compiling, and more. Automatically configures tooling needed for React. So, I need to ask, what does this mean? Under the hood, I wonder what that means. Under the hood, next.js abstracts and automatically configures the tooling needed for React. This means that next.js handles many of the complex configuration tasks required to set up a React development environment. Oh, okay, so this means that next.js handles many of the complex configuration tasks. So next.js is gonna handle the complex stuff that is required to set up a React development environment, allowing developers to focus on building their application rather than spending time on configuration. Oh, that is so good. Okay, so Next.js is going to handle most of the complicated configuration stuff so that we can focus on building the application rather than spending time on configuration. That is cool. This allows you to focus on building your application instead of spending time with configuration. Nice, 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 nice. Whether you're an individual developer as part of a larger team, Next.js can help you build interactive, dynamic, and fast React applications. Build interactive, dynamic, and fast React applications. Nice. So Next.js is going to help us build these kinds of React applications, okay? We got to remember this. Main features, some of the main Next.js features include routing. Now, what is routing? Let's study this. A file system-based router built on top of server components that supports layouts, nested routing, loading states, error handling, and more. Okay. Alright. A file system-based router built. It's a file system-based router built on top of server components. So, like I said, explain in really simple words what are server components, layouts, nested routing, loading states, handling. Okay. Really, really simple words. Okay, so do your magic, Perplexity. I need your help. What are server components? Okay. Server components are a new type of React component that runs on the server instead of the client. Okay, I understand it. Pretty simple. These are the components. These are a new type of React component. They're going to run on the server instead of the client. Okay. Then They allow you to move data, fetching, and rendering to the server, which can improve performance and security. So data fetching and rendering is going to happen on the server. This improves performance and security. Layouts. Layouts are a way to share common UI elements across multiple pages, like a header or footer. Oh, so this router, which is a file-based router built on top of server components, it supports layouts. This is layout. Sharing common UI elements across multiple pages. They help keep your code organized and make it easier to update the shared elements. Okay. Nested routing. Nested routing lets you create a hierarchy of pages within your application. For example, you could have a main page with a sidebar, and the sidebar links to other pages that are nested inside the main page. Okay, I get it. I get this. Okay. Loading states. Loading states show the user that something is happening, like when data is being fetched from the server. So we need to, I think this is the main word. Shows the user that something is happening. This is loading states. For example, like when data is being fetched from the server, this helps prevent the user from getting confused or thinking the app is broken. Error handling. Okay. Error handling is how the app responds when something goes wrong, like if the server can't be reached, or if there is a bug in the code. It allows you to display a friendly error message to the user instead of just crashing. Nice, nice, nice. I understand this. Okay. So up till now, I've studied routing. Now I'm going to try to study rendering. What is rendering? Rendering. Client-side and server-side rendering with client and server components. Further optimized with static and dynamic rendering on the server with Next.js, streaming on Edge and Node.js at runtimes. Client-side and server-side rendering with client and server components. So let's see what is client-side and server-side. What is client-side and server-side rendering? So I think, yeah, we already studied server components. Static rendering, dynamic rendering, streaming on Edge and Node.js runtimes. What is Node.js runtime? Simple words, please. Okay, Perplexity, do your magic. Client-side rendering, okay, means the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Oh, okay, client-side, okay. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for a web page are generated in the user's web browser. The browser downloads all the necessary code and then renders the page. Servers, okay, I understand it now. That is client-side rendering. So most of the stuff is going to happen in the browser. All the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the web page that we're trying to access is going to be downloaded on the browser. The code, I mean. And after that, the page is going to be rendered. Server-side rendering means the HTML for a page is generated on the server. The server sends the fully rendered HTML to the browser, which then displays the page. Bro, this is so cool. This is so cool, bro. So this means, look, the HTML for a page is generated on the server. So first the HTML is going to be generated on the server, and then the server is going to send the HTML page, the fully rendered HTML, to the browser. So it's going to display the page there. But the HTML for a page is actually being generated on the server. And it's just sending the fully rendered HTML to the browser, which then displays the page. Okay. That is so cool, bro. I love this. Absolutely love it. Static rendering versus dynamic rendering. Static rendering means the HTML for a page is generated once at build time. The pre-generated HTML is then served to all users. Okay, let me just understand this. The HTML for a page is generated once, okay, at build time, alright. It's going to be generated once at build time. The pre-generated HTML is then served to all users. Okay. Now let's move on to dynamic rendering. means the HTML for a page is generated on each request. Okay. Oh, on each request. Okay, I get it. Over here, it's being generated once, and then that is being served to all the users, the pre-generated HTML. But over here, the HTML for a page is generated on each request. The server generates the HTML for each user. So I'm thinking, what I understand from this is that over here, one page is the HTML for the page is generated once, and then at build time, and then that pre-generated HTML is served to all the users, right? To everyone. It's just generated once. But over here, what I understand is that the HTML for a page is being generated for each user separately. Like, so whenever someone tries to access the HTML page, it is going to be generated at that time. So if another user tries to access that HTML page, it is going to again be generated for that user separately. And this goes on. This is what I understand from this. You can let me know in the comments if this is what it means, actually. I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, I'm learning, right? Next.js rendering options. Because the web is a big place, you know? I mean, we can learn so much from websites. It's a really big. It's a I don't know what to say. Like, it's very big. Web development, extremely big. There's so much that we can learn. Next.js rendering options. Next.js allows you to use different rendering options for different pages. Static generation. Generate HTML at build time, reuse for all requests. Yeah, we studied that. For server-side rendering, generate HTML in each request. Okay. Client-side rendering, generate HTML in the browser using JavaScript. Oh yeah, using JavaScript. Client-side rendering. Next.js can automatically determine which rendering option to use for each page. Okay, finally we are here. Node.js runtime and Edge. Okay, now let's move on to Node.js runtime and Edge. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime that allows running JavaScript on the server. Next.js can use Node.js to render pages on the server. Okay, so Next.js is going to use Node.js to render pages on the server. Alright, I get it. And Node.js itself is a JavaScript runtime that allows running JavaScript on the server. Okay. So right now I know that Next.js is going to use Node.js to render pages on the server. We're mainly talking about the server here. Edge, on the other hand, is a newer type of runtime that can run code closer to the user. So there is a difference. It can run code closer to the user on servers around the world. Okay, so this is a slight difference. It can run code closer to the user, but it is also doing it on servers around the world. This is also on the server. This is also on servers, but Edge is a newer type of runtime that can run code closer to the user. Next.js can use Edge to render pages on the edge, which can be faster than using Node.js on a central server. Oh. In summary, Next.js gives you flexibility in how you render your pages, allowing you to optimize for performance, SEO, and other needs. It can render pages on the server. Okay, performance. It can render pages on the server, on the edge, or in the browser, and can pre-render pages statically or dynamically. Bro, this is so cool. Absolutely love it. Data fetching. Alright, before we do that, I just want to go drink some water. Alright, now here we go. What is next? Styling, data fetching. Okay, data fetching. Simplified data fetching with async, await, and server components. And an extended fetch API for request memoization. What is this? Memoization? Memoization? I don't know how to say this. Data caching and revalidation. Simplified data fetching, okay, with async, await, and server components. So what I want to understand in this is, okay, so data fetching is simple. What is async? And await. What is async slash await in server components? What is extended fetch API for requests? Memoization. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Memoization. Memoization? I'm just gonna say memoization. Data caching. Revalidation. Simple words, please. Async slash await and server components, and you can use async await directly within server components. To fetch data. This allows you to write asynchronous code that waits for data. This allows you to write asynchronous code that waits for data to be fetched before rendering the components. Oh, it's going to wait for the data to be fetched before it can render the components. For example, export default async function page, let data is equal to wait fetch https api.wursel.app/log. Let posts is equal to wait.data.json, and then the what do you call this? The round brackets. Why do I keep forgetting this? I think these are small brackets. No. Round brackets. Yeah, these are parentheses. Two curved vertical lines. Okay, this is the first time I'm hearing this. Maybe, I mean, it is correct, but I'm hearing it for the first time. Two curved vertical lines. Parentheses, yeah, I could just call them parentheses. Yeah, round and square. Round brackets, yeah, these are the round brackets. Square brackets. It's crazy why I keep forgetting the names of round brackets and square brackets. Yeah, so these round brackets. Yeah. Return, okay. UL, are these lists unordered lists? I think these are unordered lists. I could be wrong. They could be something else. Okay, post.map post.id. The async keyword is used to declare the function. This is the async keyword. Where is it? This is it. Async is used to declare the function it's asynchronous, and await is used to wait for the fetch request. Where is await? I don't see. Oh, here it is. Await. This is used to wait for the fetch request to complete before processing the response. It's going to wait for the fetch request. This is the fetch request. You see? We've added await over here, so the fetch request is going to wait before processing the response. Okay. I get it. Until now, I understood. Whatever Perplexity has written down, I understood it very well. Thank you so much, Perplexity. I always understand whatever you try to explain. Extended fetch API. Next.js extends the standard fetch API to provide additional features for optimizing data fetching. Okay, so it's basically providing additional features. Extended fetch API, okay. Request memoization. I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce that word. Next.js automatically deduplicates. Deduplicates? Fetch requests with the same URL. Next.js automatically deduplicates. Deduplicates. Let's see. Deduplicates. What is that? What does the meaning of deduplicate? Eliminate. So yeah, so duplicate means to make a copy of something, right? Duplicate. So deduplicate means to erase the copy of that thing. Eliminate duplicate, yeah, or redundant information. They can deduplicate files uploaded by many different users to keep costs lower than otherwise possible. Yeah, deduplicate, I get it. Yeah, because duplicate means to copy something, right? You're creating a duplicate, you're creating a copy. So deduplicating, right? So if there are copies, you're gonna try to like erase them or eliminate them. So there's only gonna be like a single thing instead of different copies of that thing. You get it, right? Deduplicate. So this Next.js automatically deduplicates fetch requests. So what I understand from this is that they're not going to be duplicate fetch requests. So it's supposed to be single fetch request, right? Because since it's deduplicating it with the same URL and options. I don't know. Oh, I think I'm wrong. It says that Next.js automatically deduplicates fetch requests with the same URL and options. Oh, okay. So if there are multiple fetch requests with the same URL and options, it is going to deduplicate them. How it is going to do that, I don't know, but that is what means deduplicates here. That is what is meant by deduplicate here. Okay, I think so. I could be wrong. You can let me know in the comments. If multiple components request the same data, Next.js will only... What is this? Oh. Hacker Noon. So Next.js will only execute the fetch once and reuse the cached result. For something where Next.js will only execute the fetch once. Oh, I'm understanding this, bro. I'm understanding this. Come on. I'm getting it now. So before we said that Next.js automatically deduplicates fetch requests with the same URL and option. So if there are multiple, like if there are different, fetch requests, there are many fetch requests. You got to focus on this. So if there are many fetch requests with the same URL and options, Next.js is going to deduplicate them. What that means is that if there are multiple components that are requesting the same data, right? Next.js will only execute the fetch once. Now I understand this. I understand it. It's only going to execute the fetch once and reuse the cached result for subsequent requests. Okay, I get it. It's going to reuse the cached result. Nice. Because it's only going to fetch once. And that is how it deduplicates fetch requests. Data caching. You can configure how fetch requests interact with Next.js's persistent data cache using the cache option. Force cache. Okay, how fetch requests can interact with Next.js's persistent data cache. First, we have the force cache. Use cached data if available, otherwise fetch from the server and update the cache. Okay, I get it. If there is cached data and that is available, use it. Simple. But if there is no cached data, fetch it from the server and update the cache. Yeah, so put it in the cache, right? Okay. No store. Always fetch from the server and don't cache the result. I wonder what that means. Always fetch from the server. Here we were fetching from the server and updating the cache. Right? But over here we're saying that fetch from the server always. But over here it's an otherwise. So if there already is cache data, it's going to use it. Otherwise, it's going to go for the server. But over here, we're always going to go from the server. Go for the server. But don't cache the result. I don't get that. What do you mean by this? Oh, give me a minute, please. I'll be right back. Alright, now, let's see. Where were we? Understanding. Also, let's see. I think I should just add video capture. Okay. This is gonna work. Okay. Let me just add it here. Just gonna add it here. Hey, why do I look funny, bro? I look so funny right now. I can't believe I'm watching myself. This is me. Okay. Hey, this is me, bros. I can't believe I'm seeing myself. Alright. Let me see if I can. Oh, man. Okay, now here we go. Who's supposed to come in here? Damn, I can't even fix the camera view. I don't know how to... Is this okay? I don't know. Is this the background looking good? I was thinking, like, should I, like... No, no, no. Oh, it's okay. Just put it this way. Also, I just need one more thing. Let's see. Is this gonna work? Okay, so working. Here we go. Much better. Now, finally, I'm back here. Okay, now, people. It is time to do some coding and stuff. Hey, testing audio 1 2 3. Can I hear myself? Hey, testing audio 1 2 3. Can I hear myself? All right, we're good to go, boys. We are good to go. All right, we're good to go, boys. We are good to go. Now, here we go. So this is done. Completed this. Okay, so where were we? Use cases. Always fresh data. Did I leave it at here? Leave it up here. No store. Always fetch from the server and don't cache the result. What do you mean by this? Understanding no store. In Fetch API, when using the extended Fetch API in nextjs, the option no store tells the application to always fetch data directly from the server and to not cache the result at all. Let me just understand this. Tells the application to always fetch the data directly from the server, no store, and to not cache the result at all. Yeah. Here's what that means in simple terms. Always fresh data. By using no store, you ensure that every time you make a request, you get the most up-to-date information from the server. Get the most up-to-date information from the server. Oh, so every time we make a request, okay, this is useful when the data changes frequently and you want to ensure users see the latest version. Also, I just want to all right, much better. Much better. This is useful when the data changes frequently and you want to ensure users see the latest version. Most up-to-date information. You ensure that every time you make a request, you get the most up-to-date information from the server. So useful when the data changes frequently and you want to ensure users see the latest version. Okay, so getting the most up-to-date version by using no store. Data is changing frequently and want to ensure, okay. No caching. The response from the server will not be saved anywhere for future use. This means that if the same data is requested again, the server will be contacted again instead of using any previously stored data. Okay, use cases. You might want to use no store in scenarios like fetching live data, such as stock prices or sports scores, where it is crucial to have the latest information. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Not kind of, like mostly, yeah. Stock price and sports scores, like we need latest up-to-date data, right? So we might use no store in scenarios like that. Displaying user-specific data that can change frequently. User-specific data that can change frequently, like user notifications or messages. User-specific data that can change frequently. Yeah, notifications or messages, okay. Here's an example of how you might use the no store option with the Fetch API. Const response is equal to await fetch https api.example.com/data single quotation mark comma curly brackets cache no store always fetch await fetch okay cache no store. So here we're using no store always fetch fresh data from the server. Okay, const data is equal to await response.json. In this example, every time this fetch request is made, it will go to the server, retrieve the latest data, and ignore any cached versions. I get it, boys. I get it. I understand what's happening here. Every time the fetch request is gonna be made, it's gonna go to the server, retrieve the latest data, and ignore any cached versions. A new version every time. That is nice. That is what I think it is. Is that what I think it is? If I'm wrong, or there's some kind of ambiguity in my understanding, you can write it down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Using no store ensures that your application always retrieves the most current data from the server without relying on any cached responses. Most current data, yeah, without relying on any cached response. This is particularly important for applications where data accuracy and freshness are critical. Okay. Data accuracy and freshness are critical. Nice, nice. So that is data fetching. What is next? Styling, support for your preferred styling methods. Support for your preferred styling. Okay, support for your preferred styling methods, including CSS modules, Tailwind CSS, and CSS and JS. Optimizations, image, fonts, and script optimizations to improve your application's core, web vitals, and user experience. All right. And user experience. TypeScript. Improve support for TypeScript with better type checking and more efficient compilation. Yeah, TypeScript is supported. There's good type checking and more efficient compilation, as well as custom TypeScript plugin and type checker. Custom TypeScript plugin and type checker. Okay. How to use these docs? App router. On the left side of the screen, you'll find the docs navbar. Yeah, I see this. The pages of the docs are organized sequentially from basic to advanced. So you can follow them step by step when building your application. However, you can read them in any order or skip to the pages that apply to your use case. On the right side of the screen, you'll see a table of contents that make it easier to navigate between sections of a page. If you can quickly find a page, you can use the search bar at the top or the search shortcut, Control-K or CMD-K. To get started, check out the installation guide. Okay. Next, let's move on to the app router versus pages router. Next.js has two different routers. Yeah. The app router is a newer router that allows you to use React's latest features such as server components and streaming. So we need to understand here that React is offering latest features such as server components and streaming. These are React features. Okay. Also, before I understand what are app routers and page routers, I want to know in this context. In the context of Next.js, routers are mechanisms. Okay. Routers are mechanisms that manage how your application navigates. Okay, so this is what routers are: mechanisms that manage how your application navigates between different pages and components. They determine how URLs map to specific content or views in your application. App router key concepts. App router versus pages router, it's already present here, so I'm just going to study routing and file system-based router. Routing, this is the process of defining how different parts of your application are accessed via URLs. When a user navigates to a specific URL, the router decides which component or page to display. Okay. Router. Nice. File system-based router. Next.js uses a file system-based routing system, meaning that the structure of your files and folders in a pages directory directly corresponds to the routes in your application. For example, a file named about.js in the pages folder would automatically create a route at about. Structure of your files and folders in the pages directory directly corresponds to the routes, so they have a straight correspondence. The files and folders in the pages directory, they are directly corresponding to the routes in your application. So if there's a file named about.js in the pages folder, it would automatically create a route at /about. Alright. If there is a file named about.js in the pages folder, directory, it would directly correspond. It would automatically create a route at about. So that means it would directly correspond to the route. And this is going to be the route /. I get it now. Okay. That is a route. So whatever URL we're trying to access, the router is going to decide what component or page to display. That is so cool. All right, now. App router versus pages router. Next.js has two different routers, the app router and the pages router. The app router is a newer router that allows you to use React's latest features such as server components and streaming. The pages router is the original Next.js router. I'm sorry when I do that. Which allowed you. I'll be right back, please. I will be right back. Give me a second. I will be right back. Alright, people. Oh my god. What is happening here? Some weird kind of stuff is happening here. Also, just want to check out some stuff. Alright. App router versus page router. Alright, now app router versus pages router. Let's see. Give me a second, please. I'm just checking on some stuff. Alright. Okay, nextjs has two different routers. Yeah, we studied this. App router and page router. Latest features is server component streaming. Okay. The pages router is the original nextjs router, the pages router, which allowed you to build server-rendered React applications. So the page router is the original one. It is the original nextjs router. This allowed us to build server-rendered React applications. Server-rendered React applications, and continues to be supported for older nextjs applications. Okay, the pages router is the one. Page router is the one. Page router. Where is perplexity? Zoom out of here, and then we can just type it down over here. So, perplexity, I would like to ask you a question, please. I would like to ask you, what am I supposed to ask you? What am I supposed to ask you? Let me see. I forgot. No, I didn't forget. So, the pages router is the original nextjs router. It allowed you to build server-rendered applications, and continues to be supported for older nextjs applications. So what I want to ask you right now is, What is server rendered React applications? What are server rendered applications? All right, now here we go. Do your magic, Perplexity. Do your magic. A server rendered React application is a web application built with React that uses server-sided rendering. Okay, that is pretty obvious. It's obviously going to use server-side rendering. This means that the HTML for the web pages is generated on the server rather than in the user's web browser. Oh, I think I already studied this. Didn't we already study this server-side rendering? Yeah. If I scroll up, I could find that we have already studied server-side rendering. It's over here. Generate HTML on each request. Also, yeah, the server. This is it. The HTML page is generated on the server, and then that page is sent to the browser. Which then displays the page. So yeah, we did study server-side rendering. Oh man, key features. Yeah, this means that HTML for the web page is generated on the server rather than the web browser. Key features of server-rendered React applications. Key features. I don't know if we need to study that right now. I mean, okay, let's study it then. Key features of server-rendered React applications. First, we have initial HTML generation. When a user requests a page, the server processes the React components and generates the complete HTML for that page. The HTML is then sent to the user's browser. Faster page loads. Since the server sends fully rendered HTML, the browser can display the content more quickly. Users see the page faster because they don't have to wait for JavaScript to download and execute before seeing any content. Yeah, that is one of the benefits because the server sends a fully rendered HTML. That HTML page is being generated on the server, right? Yeah. The server generates the complete HTML for that page on the server. And then it is sent to the user's browser. So it is fully rendered, so it is going to take less time, right? That is what I understand from this. What do you understand from this? I'm just kidding. Alright. Okay, users see the pages faster. Okay, we did this. Improved SEO. Search engine optimization. Oh yeah, we're studying search engine optimization, people. What is this? Search engines can better crawl and index server-rendered pages. Because the content is available in the initial HTML, this is beneficial for search engine optimization, as it helps improve the visibility of the application over search results. This is what we need to, I think I need to remember, is it helps improve the visibility of the application and search results. Okay, hydration. Oh, we have hydration here. You know what I think hydration is? Let me tell you what hydration is. I'm going to tell you people what hydration is right now. Well, I'm going to tell you what hydration is. You see now? This is hydration. That, my friends, is hydration. Yeah, that is hydration. In simple words, that is hydration. But hydration, what is hydration in HTML? That is a different hydration. HTML hydration. What is hydration in website development? By the way, that was just a joke. But that does mean that is hydration, just staying hydrated, drinking water. But yeah, let's get back to the topic here. What is hydration in web development? After the server sends the HTML, React takes over on the client side. Now looky here, we have React taking over the client side here to make the application interactive. Okay, after HTML comes React. That is going to take over the client side to make the application more interactive. Also, alright, now, much better. So HTML and then React taking over, this is hydration. This process is called hydration, where React attaches event listeners. Everybody, do you know what event listeners are? And prepares the app for user interactions. Event listeners. We're talking about event listeners now. Event listeners are pretty good things. You need to know about event listeners. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting topic. So now, let me tell you something. So what we know right now, until now, is that what's hydration? Server sending HTML, React taking over the client side to make the application interactive, right? We want to make it interactive, as much interactive as possible. And that is called hydration. React, and so what we learned here is that in this process of hydration, React attaches event listeners. It's attaching event listeners and then preparing the app for user interactions. So you see the whole process coming together. The server sends the fully rendered HTML page to the browser, and then React takes over on the client side, tries to make it more interactive, right? How does it do that? It attaches event listeners and then prepares the app for user interactions. That is pretty much it. Dynamic content. Server rendered. Now we're talking about dynamic content here. Server rendered applications can easily handle dynamic content, as the server can fetch data. Did we study server rendered content? Yeah. We're studying server rendered applications. Yes, as the server can fetch data and render it before sending the page. So this is what we need to understand. The server can fetch data and render it before sending the page to the user. So there's two things happening here. First, okay? The server is fetching the data and rendering it. Number two, it is rendering it before sending the page to the user. So before it sends the page to the user, it's going to do two things. Number one, fetch the data. The server is going to fetch the data. It's going to render it. After doing these two things, it is going to send the page to the user. Remember, this is particularly useful for applications that need to display user-specific or frequently changing data. So this is going to be useful. Dynamic server rendered stuff, dynamic content. It's going to be useful when we're dealing with changing data that is constantly changing. We also have a beautiful example here. I'm definitely going to read this. In a server-rendered React application, when a user navigates to a page, the request goes to the server, which processes the React components. Remember, what's happening first? There's a user, okay? He's trying to use a server-rendered React application. The user navigates to a page, and then the request goes to the server, okay? The server processes the React components. We have to remember the React components. Do not forget that. React components, and then returns the complete HTML. That is it. Another example. For instance, if a user visits a blog post, imagine we're visiting a blog post. The server fetches the post data. Number one, we're visiting a blog post. Number two, the server fetches the post data. Number three, it renders the post into HTML. So this is what we need to understand. Okay, just try to keep pace with me. Imagine we're visiting a blog post. I'm doing that right now. Okay, anything. So, for example, what if I open anything? How to run a WordPress blog post. So let's open this. Alright, so I've opened this. I'm imagining I've opened a blog post. So what I'm just imagining, okay, just to explain. I mean, there's a lot more stuff happening at the back end. I'm just explaining this. There's a lot more stuff besides this that is happening. Also, I don't know if this is a React application or not. I'm just imagining. It's a scenario. Okay, it's a made-up scenario. So imagine that this is a blog post. Now, what's happening is the server fetches the post data. So this is the whole blog post. Now, the server is fetching the post data. Okay, remember. It renders the post into HTML. After fetching all the post data, it is going to render all this stuff into HTML and send that HTML back to the browser. And then it is going to send all that stuff here to my browser that I'm watching here. So you see, there was a lot of stuff that was happening behind it. So this was just a scenario. It was just imagination. I was trying to explain it to you, what I understood. You can comment down below. How did you understand? So I'm just going to go back. Deduplicate, yeah. Hopefully that explanation made sense. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand stuff. So, summary here. Okay, boys, it is time for the summary, people. In summary, a server-rendered React application enhances user experience. How? By providing faster load times. We're getting faster load times here, better SEO, and dynamic content delivery. You got to understand this stuff. All while leveraging the power of React for building interactive user interface. So we have faster loading times, better SEO, dynamic content delivery, all while leveraging the power of React. React, you're cool, bro. You're cool. React is so cool. I love it. Leveraging the power of React for building interactive user interfaces. So yeah. So this is coding, bros. This is programming, understanding programming and code. So things go hand in hand. So where did I leave it? Because there are features that are unique to each directory. So we're in app router versus pages router. Okay, this is the next paragraph. At the top of the sidebar, you'll notice a drop-down menu that allows you to switch between the app router and the page router features. Since you know what they're talking about here? You see this? This is the app router. Can I zoom in on this? No, I cannot. So this is the app router, and that is the pages router underneath it. You can see using app router, using pages router. Right now, I'm using app router. App router. Okay. Since there are features that are unique to each category, directory. I meant to say directory. That are unique to each directory, it's important to keep track of which tab is selected. The breadcrumbs at the top of the page will also indicate whether you're viewing app router docs or pages router docs. The breadcrumbs. Hey, what are we talking about breadcrumbs here, people? What breadcrumbs are we talking about here? Alright, prerequisite knowledge. So, until now, we studied a lot and understanding a lot about next.js. So, it turns out... Understanding a lot about next.js. Oh. Okay, prerequisite knowledge. Here we go. For those who don't know prerequisite knowledge, you know what pre means, right? Pre means before. But I don't know what requisite means. Explain the word meaning. I spelled everything extremely wrong. I tried to spell everything right. I spelled everything extremely wrong. Yeah, so here it is. Pre means before. Requisite. I don't know what requisite means. That is why I'm trying to understand it. Requisite means something that is required. Oh! Oh! Okay, requisite. Requisite means something that is required or necessary. It refers to a condition or requirement that must be met. Prerequisite. So before starting something, there is a requirement that needs to be fulfilled. We need to meet that requirement. So requisite, requirement. I hope you understand that. Before they can effectively engage with a new topic. You see it here? Putting it all together, prerequisite knowledge means the essential information or skills that a person needs to have before they can effectively engage with a new topic. They need to have some skills before they can engage with a new topic. You see? Before, they need to have some skills. Then they can engage with a new topic. And that is why this is some prerequisite knowledge that we need to read. Alright, let's read it. Although our docs are designed to be beginner-friendly, we need to establish a baseline so that the docs can stay focused on next.js functionality. So you can see over here what they've done in this paragraph. They've established a baseline so that the docs can stay focused on next.js functionality. They're trying to focus on next.js, you know? That is beautiful. I want to understand. I don't know the meaning of baseline. What does baseline mean here? In the context, baseline refers to a minimum level, okay, of knowledge. Baseline, minimum level of knowledge or understanding that is expected from readers before they engage with the documentation. So this is expected from us. You see, it says baseline refers to the minimum level, of knowledge, the most minimum level of knowledge or understanding that is expected from the readers. So I'm a reader here. I'm expected to have some knowledge. I'm expected to have some minimum level of knowledge, right? That is what is called baseline, before I can engage with the documentation. So they're trying to establish a baseline so that the documentation can stay focused on Next.js functionality. So I'm supposed to have some knowledge. Understand material being. The baseline sets a standard or foundation of knowledge that a user should ideally possess. This ensures that they have enough context to understand the material being presented. So if I'm not knowledgeable about some I need to know like what they mean to say right here. What I understand from this is that I need to have some kind of knowledge about the documentation or whatever is being said, explained in the documentation. I need to know something about the documentation before I can engage with the documentation. You get that? Because if I don't know anything, what if I don't know the meaning of any word? If I start reading this and I don't know the meaning of any word, I'm going to understand it pretty wrong, right? I won't be able to understand the documentation. So that is why prerequisite knowledge, I need to know at least something, a teeny weeny bit of knowledge. I need to have it. I need to possess that knowledge before I can interact with the documentation. We will make sure to provide links for relevant documentation whenever we introduce a new concept. That is so beautiful, bros. That is incredibly beautiful. They're providing links to relevant documentation. Whenever we are confused, we can access those documentation and understand the concept. So simple. To get the most out of your docs, it is recommended that you have a basic understanding of HTML, CSS, or React. Not a problem. Not a problem. If you need to brush up on your React skills, check out our React Foundations course, which will introduce you to the fundamentals, then learn more about Next.js by building a dashboard application. Alright. Okay. Accessibility. Next topic is accessibility. Alright, accessibility. Okay, accessibility. For optimal accessibility when using a screen reader while reading the docs, we recommend using Firefox and NVDA or Safari and VoiceOver. Okay. Join our community. If you have questions about anything related to Next.js, you're always welcome to ask our community on GitHub, discussions, Discord, X, Twitter, and Reddit. Wow, that was beautiful. That was an amazing read. I absolutely enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed reading it, understanding what is in the documentation. It was pretty beautiful. This is just beautiful. All the documentation. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Oh. Oh no. Battery. Should I? Let me think here. Think so. I think I'm just gonna stop here. Yeah, I think so. Probably I'm gonna stop. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot. You can comment down below. You can comment in the video. There is live chat. If you want to type in the live chat, you can use the live chat. And there's also the comments under the video section. You can also comment down there. Let me know about Next.js. It seems pretty cool. Next.js, you know? Pretty awesome stuff. I love it. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. You know, I was thinking. A video like this.